Hi there everyone, welcome to Fingers, Thumbs and Fits, and today I'm going to be returning to Masters of the Universe Battleground and unboxing the miniatures in the Wave 6 expansions. Now this wave has, I want to say, 2 new faction releases. I mean, one of them isn't really. I mean, we have here the Evil Horde faction. These had a faction box. The Power of the Evil Horde, which we've seen already. But this other one, this is for the Fighting Foemen, which haven't had a release as of yet, but will be expanded a little bit in the GameFound campaign releases, which I will do when they're released and when I receive them. Now, I'm not really too familiar with the Fighting Foemen, so I think what we'll do, we'll take a look at this one first and we'll see if we can't garner a bit more information. I'm familiar with the model. Let's just have a look at the back first before I take it out. What we have here is we have Dorgator on his battle ram. So let's see what we get in here. There's our assembly instructions. Here's our Wave 6 rules. Special terrain, mud monster, fighting foemen, vehicles. Yeah, they're not associated with any faction and can be included in any force. I kind of had a quick look up on them on the Masters of the Universe wiki on fandom, and it did say that they were mercenaries, so I guess that's to be expected then. There's our weapons and our character cards and everything. We've got a hex base as is usual for larger models, which as we can see here, this one is, and this is in grey plastic. It looks like the rider, thankfully, is completely separate to the actual vehicle itself, which is going to make painting this a lot easier. But yeah, it looks like that's got a fair few components there, so it's going to be good to put together. Going to look forward to that. So we're going to pop this back in the box for the moment. That was the battle ram. But now let's also check out our Evil Horde characters here. We have Leech and we have Scorpia, who I swear in the original cartoon was called Scorpina, but that might have been a Mandela effect for me. Scorpia most definitely does make more sense. But again, we have our, yes, Scorpia, our assembly instructions. That is a pretty cool model. She is a cool character, Scorpia. Not quite as cool as Catra, but yeah. Here's our same thing again that we saw just now with the Fighting Foemen. Character cards, weapons, armor, etc. We know the deal by now. And here's the sprue with the characters on it. One of which is actually, if you look at the box here, is actually a mud monster. So it looks like that's these 2 bits here, as it's a terrain feature. But yeah, we'll once again pop these back, and I shall put these together. So yeah, hang about, and I'll be back in a moment to show you the assembled models. So see you in a bit. Okay, I'm back, and well, let's start off with the Evil Horde faction, shall we? Starting with this little fella here. Here's our little mud creature. Fairly straightforward to put together. You had the base, you had this grasping hand here, and then you had the rest of him that went on top. That was fairly straightforward. I mean, it looks interesting. see how he paints up as Mud. Scorpia, yeah, she wasn't a problem at all. Main bit of the body, her back, including this arm with the crossbow was separate, this leg and her tail, yeah, it went together all very nicely. It's a great looking model, yeah. Now, the reason I've left Leech separate, till last, there were some areas where he was attached to the sprue frame that kind of looked a little bit awkward. And so it left sort of awkward burrs, which when putting him together kind of made things, you know, kind of potentially left a bit of gaps. So if you've got a mould line remover or a small file, it might be worth just going over some of the edges just a little bit more, giving it a little bit more care before putting it together. But aside from that, yeah, I mean, it wasn't so bad. This arm was separate, the front of his body, the back and this arm were a piece, and then his head and his base. So yeah, it's just, for this one, I think it's just worth keeping an eye on that. But aside from that, yeah, they were all right to put together. They look really quite nice. I don't know why, but I think that mud monster's quite adorable. But yeah, I'll be looking forward to whacking some paint on these guys in the future. But we've still got another model to look at, so let's take a look at it. Right, so here we have Dorgator in the Battleground for the Fighting Foemen faction. Now, this is still in various sub-assemblies so that it makes it easier to paint. So obviously I haven't attached it to the hexagonal base. But this is what the model looks like. A lot of detail there. But to make this easier to paint, this bit's being left off the front, also the control panel. Dorgator himself should lift out. There we go. So I can paint the interior, and I've left it off the base as well because the base has got some nice detail on it. So yeah, this again wasn't a problem to put together. The instructions were fairly comprehensive. It looks more complicated than it actually is. Yeah, there was no problem putting this one together. It looks great as well. I'm looking forward to painting it up, seeing how a vehicle looks on the battlefield. Although, I mean, I say that, I still haven't had any games of this yet, to be honest with you. But yeah, so that's Wave 6. Very nice models. I'm glad that they've done expansions for a couple of the factions that hadn't got any love up until this point yet. Obviously these guys will be, well, the Fighting Foemen at least will be getting some love in the Game Found releases. Again, I'll go over them when I receive them, which at time of recording we're in mid-January. I think it's sort of towards the end of the month that things are going to start shipped out. So yeah, looking forward to that. So obviously keep an eye on the channel for when that happens. But we have one more wave until then of the existing available releases. So please do join me next time where we check out Wave 7. So until then, take care, keep on adventuring, and I'll catch you later. Bye-bye.